Hi everyone. Okay, so now we are given we're given a graph and we're gonna try and deduce some information from this graph. So let's have a look at it. So it's saying that this graph, so George recorded his distance from home over a 5-hour period. His distance and time are shown in the graph above. And then it's saying, okay, so there you go. The distance is the dependent, the time is the independent. So this is my X, this is my Y. And then it's saying, according to the graph, which of the following is not true about the 5-hour period? So this is very important. They've even highlighted, they've even put it in all caps, but we still read this, most of us, a lot of people really, we read this and we tend to look for the true one, right? So if the first one is true, we go like, oh, there you go, and then move on to the next one. So just make sure, please, 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 make sure you're reading the question properly, okay? And make sure you're reading for what they're really asking for. So if I'm doing that, then let's have a look at these, and I'm going to go through the bottom up to the top. So it's saying that for D, it's saying that George was moving further from his home for a longer period of time than he was moving closer to his home. So let's kind of see what's going on over here. Let's highlight first one thing. So they're saying George recorded the distance from his home. Okay, so as he was moving away from his house, so this is his house. Okay, imagine that's his house over here, right? There's the door. He was moving away from his house, right? So as he left his house, he started recording the distance from his house. So first, he started moving away, moving away, moving away. So this, I'm going to say red is moving away. Okay, so red moving away. And I'm going to make purple moving towards house, okay? Moving towards house. Okay, and obviously this one is house as well, but that's kind of a given. Okay, so he's moving away, moving away, moving away, and then kind of at half an hour, you see how this is in hours? At half an hour, he stopped and then started moving back towards his house, right? If this is his house and he was moving away from it, then now he's kind of coming closer. So we're not going to consider that as the moving away. But then if this is his house, let's kind of draw a straight line through what his house is. So this over here, if this is his house at 3, right, just to kind of give us a reference point when we're graphing this, I'm just going to draw another straight line. So this is our reference point in terms of, moving away, moving closer. So over here, this is all moving closer, this stuff over here. So then right when I got to this part, I started moving away and then closer. He's moving closer, away, and then here he kind of just didn't move away or towards. He was just in the same distance away from it. And then over here, I'm starting to move away, 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 away. All of this part is him moving away from it. And then he starts getting closer. And then again, at this point, he starts moving away from it again. Okay, so let's compare that. Let's compare that to the times where he was moving closer. So let's do purple. So he's moving closer over here, as well as over here. As well as over here, he's moving closer. And that's really it. So, I mean, if we were to compare the amount of time, right? So the amount of time over here is almost like quarter hour, half hour, an hour. So that's an hour and 75 minutes. Sorry, an hour and 75% of an hour, or 45 minutes. And then over here, this one, and you don't need to do all this immediately. You can look at this and you can see that he's moving a lot. Most of the time he's moving further away, right? Because this is half an hour. This is an entire, hour and a half. 1.5 immediately. There you go. That's already more. If I add this one, that's 1 hour, right? So immediately that's more, and you can already see it. That's what I'm trying to say, is that you can see it. So they're saying George was, so do you see my mind was going to go directly to, oh, that's a true one, circle it. But remember, we're trying to find what is not true. So this one is true, so we're not going to choose that one. The next one says, George remained a constant distance from his home for 1 hour. Remember how I kind of talked about this one over here? In terms of distance, he stayed at 1 kilometer away, right? This 1 kilometer away, he stayed at that distance away from his house for a full hour. So there you go. Oh, I kind of just noticed my mistake there, right? You're not including that because he's actually not moving away. But yeah, so then we're saying that over here, he remained a constant distance away from his house for an entire hour, and that is true. So we're not including this one. And then we look at B and it's saying George's distance from home reached its max during the first hour. Let's have a look at that. So his distance away from home. Now, if I were to kind of look at our reference point, and let's use a different color for this. Let's use this one. If I were to look at my reference point, this one, and try and deduce where was the farthest distance, well, this looks pretty far. That looks pretty far, and this looks a little far, not too far. But really, the farthest one is this one, right? And he was approaching it over here. So they're saying that in his first hour, he reached his max distance away from the house, and that is true. So because right, that's 6 units away. This is 6 units, or 6 kilometers. Here, this is from 3. This is 5 kilometers. And over here, this is from 3 to 5. That is 2 kilometers. So clearly, this one in that first hour, within the first hour, was the max, right? So we're not including this one. The next one says, George's distance from home increased at a constant rate during the first hour. Now, a constant rate, we've done this in linear. Constant rate would look like this, right? That's a straight line. That's an increasing constant rate. So this is increasing. Oh, whoops, I did it again. Let's write it down here. Increasing constant rate, right? If from left to right it's going like that, this would just be decreasing constant rate. Okay, so over here we see that in this first hour it's actually curving. It's doing this curve. It looks like this, right? No, not like that. It's doing like this. Well, that is not constant, right? Because we've looked at how constant looks like. So that means that this one is the one that is false, and that is indeed our answer. Okay, so anytime you're given situations like this, just just break it down, see which one makes sense, which one doesn't, and just make sure that you are reading the question very, very carefully, because a lot of the times we fall into this trap where it says find the one that's not true, and you read the first one and it's true, and you think, oh, that's my answer, because we typically want to find the true one. Okay. All right, everyone. I hope that helps, and I hope I'll see you next question. Bye.